readers of the UK. I'm Leigh Bardugo, author of Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising, the New York Times bestselling Grisha trilogy. The Grisha trilogy is a fantasy series set in a world inspired by Tsarist Russia. The first book, Shadow and Bone, is about a country called Ravka that has been torn in two by a swath of darkness that some people call the Shadowfold and others call the Unseen. It is crawling with monsters that feast on human flesh. It has basically cut this country off from its ports and harbors. So in order for them to trade with the outside world, they have to send people across. The people they usually choose are conscripted soldiers. One of these soldiers is Alina Starkov. She is an orphan and a war refugee. She has spent her whole life being unwanted and overlooked, until the day her regiment is attacked on the Fold, and she reveals a power that puts her on a collision course with the most powerful forces in the kingdom, including the kingdom's magical elite, a group known as the Grisha. In fantasy, darkness usually functions as a metaphor. A dark age is coming, darkness falls across the land. I wanted to ask the question, what if darkness was a place? And the creatures you imagined there were just as terrifying as you thought, and you had to fight them on their own territory. That's basically where the idea for Shadow and Bone began, and everything else grew out of that. If you haven't checked out Shadow and Bone yet, I hope you will. It has dark magic, betrayals, fantastical creatures, and a guy gets cut in half, which is always good for entertainment value. My next book is called The Dregs. I can't tell you too much about it yet, but I can say that it is set in the same world as the Grisha trilogy, but in a different country and with a different cast of characters. It's set in a little country called Kerch that is kind of the opposite of Ravka. While the world has been at war, Kerch has remained neutral and is very prosperous. It is the hub of all legal trade in the world and all illegal trade. So it is kind of a jewel of art and culture and commerce, but it also has a thriving criminal underworld. And from this underworld come our heroes, the Dregs. This book was really inspired by my love of ragtag band of misfit stories. Ocean's 11, Inglourious Bastards, The Dirty Dozen. I wanted to write a story about an outcast crew trying to pull off an impossible heist that is basically a suicide mission. So that's what I did, and I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you guys. But before then, I will be on tour in the UK. I will be touring England, Ireland, and Scotland this August, and you should come out and see me. I will be in London for LongCon, I will be at the Edinburgh Book Festival, I will be at Eason's in Dublin and Shamrock Con, I'll be in Birmingham, Liverpool, Newcastle, all over the place. So come on out, but if you can't, and you would still like a signed copy of Shadow and Bone, we have hidden 3 of them at Waterstone's locations in London. For clues on how to find them, click the link that will now magically appear in this video as if by magic. And hopefully you will win. I wish you much luck in your quest, and I hope to see some of you in just a few days.